Hi there, it's Chris at Bluerhino Safaris. I just finished my Zimbabwe tour for 2019 and I thought let me quickly do a video for you to see exactly what we're doing and what's happening there. You've been to the new website by now, so you know what it looks like. It's under the 2019 tours, and if you go to the right you'll see Zimbabwe Grand Tour. Zimbabwe Grand Tour, 19th of August 2019 for 12 nights. So it's just short of 2 weeks. We are camping on the trip. Excuse me. And price is 11,300 Rand per person sharing at the US dollar rate of 14.50 Rand. Zimbabwe works in US dollars, so obviously we are linked to the dollar rate. The date that I chose for this tour in August, end of August, is just because the falls, as you can see on the picture here, the falls still in very high flow season, so very nice to visit the falls in August. If you go a little bit later up to November, the falls become dry and it's dry season in the falls itself. So I want to get there in August, latest in August. Also, the bush starts drying out, the water pans in the park start drying out, and you see more animals coming to the water, like your elephants, the large antelopes, and therefore August is a very popular time to go into the game viewing areas, like you might know already. So let's have a look. 11,300 Rand per person is really quite expensive if you think about it, but we are in parks many nights, and if we are in the parks we are paying in dollars, and we have to pay park fees, entry fees, vehicle fees, all of those things, which are all included in your cost. We're visiting the Matobos National Park, Kami Ruins, Great Zimbabwe Ruins, Matusadona on Lake Kariba, Wangi National Park, and Vic Falls. So quite a few of the parks are in this system and therefore quite expensive. This is what I'm talking about, the water at the at some of the campsites. Let's go this way, and you see the elephants coming to drink. We see large herd of elephant coming through in the evenings. This is one of the campsites where we actually sleep at the hide. We have exclusive access to the hide for the evening, and we sit there until the sun goes down and we watch and listen to the animals coming through to drink. So let's have a quick look at the itinerary, and we can go through exactly what we are doing. This is the map, so let me use the map as the base. We start in Francistown. Botswana fuel is still a little bit cheaper than Zim, so we start in Botswana. Our first night we spend in Botswana. Then we go over at Plumtree border and we head off towards the Matobos National Park. Before we get there, we will visit Kami Ruins, which is close to that. And after we visit Kami Ruins is a World Heritage Site. It's just a little bit more modern than the Great Zimbabwe Ruins, but it's also a World Heritage Site and really worth visiting. I was there 2 or 3 years ago, and it was actually quite nice to visit. So we'll do that again. And then we go to the Matobos. Matobos is known for its granite rock formations, one rock on top of the other, and it's also where Rhodes is buried. Cecil John Rhodes is buried there at a place called World View. We will visit that site, and you'll see why they call it World's View. It's quite spectacular. So our second night will be in the Matobos. The next morning, as I said, we will visit the park itself. We'll drive around, look at the rock formations, go up to Rhodes' grave, also where the monument is for the Matabele Wars. And after lunch, somewhere there, we will leave, go past Bulawayo and through Masvingo down to Great Zimbabwe Ruins. At Great Zimbabwe Ruins, we will arrive late in the afternoon. There's a restaurant available, nice restaurant on the premises, 220 volt power, hot showers, very nice camping facility. After that night, the next morning, we will visit the ruins itself. The ruins have been described as something that could not be built in Africa at the time it was built, or by Africans in the time that it was built in Africa, which was just the old scientists' way of saying that we're sure someone else did it because it's so magnificent. It really is good. If you go to the ruins, you'll see how they started building and how their skills developed throughout the process. And when they got to the end, their skills were really good. Excuse me. So we'll go up to the king's residence where he stayed, which is just on the rock with all these interesting little channels and things that you can go through. So we will visit Great Zimbabwe ruins on that morning. After the ruins visit, we go up to our campsite for the night. Again, a good restaurant, hot showers, 220 volt power. So we settle down there for the night. The next day, it's an early departure. We make our way all the way up to Kariba, and we visit Matobos National Park. Matobos National Park, probably one of my favorite spots just to settle down for a day or two. It is relaxing, it's pretty, it's in the wildlife, and it's very secluded. So these days quite a few South Africans go there, but it's still difficult to get there, so therefore you don't get all the riffraff ending up there. No city golfs or guys with cases of beer in the boot. So yeah, lovely place. It's a bit of a 4x4 track to get down to Lake Kariba. So if you are towing something, you have to have experience on a trailer, a 4x4 trailer. You can go down there with one, but you'll go a little bit slower than everybody else. And I'll split the convoy up. It's about a 5-hour drive to get down there. We do 60 kilometers in about 5 hours. We have radio communications, so I'll split the convoy. The faster guys will go first, the slower guys will hang back, and eventually we all get down. We don't want to break vehicles, we don't want to do any damage to anything. We are there for holiday, and if we break something, then it's a bigger problem for me. So we'll get down to the bottom, settle in for 2 nights. The next day is an off day. We take a bit of a breather. The elephants will be around, they will entertain us. Jackals, they are all around in the area. So once we are done with the 2 nights at Matobos, we take the same road back out again. It goes a little bit quicker if you come out. And when we are out, we travel up towards Binga. Binga is still on Lake Kariba. Nice grass campsite with 220 volt power, hot water, flush toilets again. Matobos also has hot water and flush toilets. They use donkeys to heat their water, and they do have flush toilets there as well. Also drinking water, so the whole trip is very easy in that regard. So from Binga we go down to Wangi, and we visit 2 of my most loved sites in the area. 2 picnic sites, exclusive, expensive, but really worth it. So after we've done the 2 nights in Wangi, we will then move up towards Victoria Falls, and as I said, it's a good time of the year to visit the falls because you can really see it in all its glory. At the end of August, the water starts dropping down for the dry season. So we'll arrive in the late afternoon on the first night. Again, nice shaded grassed campsite with 220 volt power, hot showers, everything is there. And the day between the 2 nights is good for rafting if you're still fit enough to do that. It's good for going to the falls, chopper flights, walk with lions, ride on the elephants. All of that stuff is available in Vic Falls. So after we've spent our 2 nights there, we travel down towards Francistown again for the last night before I head home. Now, if you don't want to come down to Francistown, if you want to spend more time, you're welcome to. Leaving Zimbabwe is easy. It's 70 kilometers tar road from Vic Falls. So that road is traveled 1 million times a year. So it's a very common tourist route. It's easy to get out on your own. So you can stay another day or 2 in Vic Falls if you want to. From there, it's really just getting down south. If you're going to the Cape, you can always go through the Capri Strip and down in Namibia. If you're coming back to Joburg, then going down to Francistown is about the best way to do it. So when I exit, we go down to Francistown, sleep our last night in Francistown, and that will be night number 12. So yeah, this is a tour that I love to do, but because of the political situation in Zimbabwe, I was a little bit careful to do one last year. But this is absolutely spectacular. In Southern Africa, Zimbabwe is one of the countries with the most diversity in animals, landscape. They've got rivers, they've got lakes, they've got waterfalls. It's a spectacular country to visit. So if you have not been to Zimbabwe, come with me. I came through from Serengeti this year, 2018, and no roadblocks. The roadblocks that we had for the last 10 years, all gone. I was stopped once, checked my license, and that was it. So the traveling in Zimbabwe has changed dramatically. It's easy, it's fun, you don't get harassed all the time, and it's worth doing it. They are our neighbors, they want to rebuild their country. It's a proud nation, and I'm very happy to help them, to visit them, to spend some money with them, just to get them back onto their feet. So it's really great to visit the area. Nice cultural and balance between culture and eco. Nature scenes, the lake, everything is quite spectacular. So join us. If you have nothing to do, then come with us. If you already have something planned, cancel it. Join us on the 19th of August, and we're going to have a lot of fun.